I wrote that piece because I think it's too easy for people on the opposition benches to think that the government can't recover simply by changing. And I think everybody on the Labour bench understands the weaknesses of Rishi Sunak, and I think people probably hoped Rishi Sunak would be the next Prime Minister because we could see the clear attack lines on him, and so could the Tory Party, and Tory Party members were rejecting Rishi Sunak for the same reason that we believed that voters would reject him. So the easy thing to slip into is think that the Tories have definitely lost the next election, the fifth election in a row, that they'd be looking to form a government afterwards. And my fear, which is why I wrote this piece to say no one ever becomes Prime Minister by accident. They become Prime Minister by ambition. And they can't become a Prime Minister by ambition and drive and will, and they have something about them. And I wanted people to read it and give Liz Truss the weight of consideration she should give. I've been not a fan, I've been a follower of Liz Truss and a respecter of her as a politician from her early days as a minister, because I think people need to listen to the fact and see the fact. She's one of the few Tory prime ministers, cabinet ministers, who was ever willing to fight for conservatism as an ideology, to set it out in speeches. And I think she's a thinker, and that's a very, very important part of being a leader.
Now, presumably, John, I'm wondering about your views on Rishi Sunak. I assume you think, and this is despite the man, of course, being Chancellor of the Exchequer during the pandemic. He was very high profile as far as a politician can be. So do you think Rishi Sunak would just be a walk in the park for the Labour Party?
Look, I think so, for a number of reasons. One is he was popular during the pandemic for putting money in our pockets. And he was clearly uncomfortable with putting money in our pockets and wants to take money out of our pockets, whether it's by cutting universal credit or whether it's by raising taxes. He's really committed to squeezing people and money in their pockets. So I think he would have been easy from that point of view, because he wasn't going to rise to this latest cost of living crisis. And I think the other thing is, anybody who is living a billionaire's lifestyle because his wife is a billionaire and who has tax efficiency arrangements to minimise her exposure to British taxation, anybody in that situation was always going to be easier for Labour to attack. But particularly, with somebody who's a billionaire's husband, who wears expensive clothes, his heated tea mug, all of these things, very easy to mock in politics, very easy to show as out of touch during a cost of living crisis. So I think that's why I'm saying that Liz Truss is the one to fear, because she's got an ideology. She's thought through why she thinks what she thinks. She's changed her mind. And that, for me, is a strength in a politician, not a weakness.